as well as staff are all in attendance to ensure that you enjoy the match in comfort. St John's Ambulance is providing first aid cover and will be based at the back of the stand next to the players' tunnel. Please be advised that
well, good evening everyone and welcome to Culver Road, the home of Sussex football for tonight. Sussex Transport Senior Cup semi-final between Brighton, Hove Albion and Horsham. Well, Horsham are the competition's holders, beating Hastings United in the final last year at the Amex Stadium, the home of Brighton Hove Albion. Brighton are looking to win their 17th Sussex Senior Cup, and to do that they'll have to have done it the hard way. They went back to their old stomping grounds in the second round, back to the Withdean, memories of a homeless Brighton Hove Albion as they beat AFC Vardinians 1-0. They then travelled to Burgess Hill, who are having a stellar season themselves. A 0-0 draw followed a penalty shootout, which Brighton came out the victors by a score of 5-4. And then it was Culver Road in the quarter-final. A 7-0 victory against Whitehawk saw them book their spots in this grand semi-final, where they take on the holders Horsham, that have had their own difficult journey through to the semi-final. A 2-0 victory in the second round for them, and also a 2-0 victory in the third round against Eastbourne Town at home. And then came the big test in the quarter-final against Worthing, the team that have won this competition more than any other. And 1-1 it finished at normal time, and the penalty shootout, Horsham kept their nerve and they booked their place into the final. It promises to be a good game. The last time Brighton were in the final was back in 2022, where they beat Worthing 4-2 in the final. There may be a certain young player on the score sheet that afternoon by the name of Jack Hinchelwood, who is now part of the Brighton Hove Albion first team squad. And speaking ahead of the game, Shannon Roof, the Brighton Hove Albion under-21s manager, was very praising of this competition, saying how important it was for Brighton Hove Albion, for the development of his players, saying how different it was to the development of the under-21s squad, the under-21s Premier League, where that's a more possession-based format in those games, coming to the Sussex Transport Senior Cup and the National League Cup, the competitions that Brighton Hove Albion under-21s are involved in. It provides them a much more real test of what senior football is all about. For Horsham, well, their manager Dom De Paolo has worked wonders since taking charge, and their team are looking to embark on another successful cup run. Of course, there were cup holders coming into this game. They've had successful long runs in the FA Trophy, the FA Cup, most notably last year, getting to the second round of the FA Cup proper. And they'll be looking to retain the trophy that they won just over 12 months ago. It promises to be an intriguing encounter here at Culver Road, the Sussex Transport Senior Cup semi-final. The two teams have been warming up hard just ahead of the game, and we're awaiting the players to emerge from the tunnel.
18 Reece-Miles Meachams and 20 Lee Harding, with the substitutes 9 to be Fenelon, 11...
For Horsham, if they were to be successful in this competition, they would play 60 games this season. To add to the 60 games they played last season, that would be a huge mammoth fixture list for any club, let alone the 120 for a non-league club. So the players, just waiting for them to emerge from the tunnel. Thank you very much for joining us here on this YouTube stream, powered by your instant replay. Sussex County FA, Culver Road, the home of Sussex football. Let's just run through the two lineups really quickly for you. We'll start with Brighton Hove Albion. So in goal is number 1 Stephen Hall, number 2 Charlie Tasker, number 3 Harry Mills, number 4 Yusuf Owusu, number 5 Charlie Penman, number 6 Captain Joe Knight, number 7 Sahil Basir, number 8 Sami Shushain, number 9 Joe Belmont, number 10 Joshua Robertson, and number 11 Romero Moulton. For Horsham, in goal for them, number 1 Lewis Carey, number 3 Harvey Sparks, number 4 Danny Barker, number 5 Isaac Philpott, number 6 Jack Strange, number 7 Captain James Hammond, number 10 Daniel Ajakai, number 14 Joel Daly, number 17 Lucas Rodriguez, number 18 Reece-Miles Meachams, and number 20 Lee Harding. The referee that will lead out the players today is James Curtin. he'll be assisted by Thomas Price, Paddy O'Reilly, and the fourth official is Jake Woodman. Well, there's a big crowd yet again at Culver Road. Plenty of Horsham fans travelled down the A24 to be here to support their side. They're expectant. And the winners of this will face Littlehampton Town in the final at the Amex Stadium. Littlehampton themselves beating National League South Eastbourne Borough in the most dramatic of fashions, 2-1 just a couple of weeks ago right here at Culver Road. A late winner and a bit of a shock against 10-man Eastbourne Borough, but they were full value for it, and they're a team that will make it difficult for either of these two clubs when it gets to the final. So just a reminder that the game today will go straight to penalties if it's to finish level after 90 minutes. And more fans are filling the stadium. It is got a sense of a real big cup tie. Of course it is a big cup tie. It's the Sussex Transport Senior Cup semi-final. We mentioned about Shannon Reeve talking about the development for his players. We also caught up with Horsham manager Don De Paolo ahead of this game, and they've got their own promotion aspirations themselves in the Isthmian Premier League. They want to become a National League club, and they are sitting pretty high in the playoff picture at the moment as things stand. They know the strength and the toughness of this Brighton Hove Albion side they face, but they know that their players will relish coming up against a young Premier League side. And he's using Brighton as inspiration, looking at where the young players are. A lot have gone on to play in League One and League Two. He sees such a high calibre of players, and he's not going to underestimate this side. He mentions by name Jack Hinshelwood. Of course, that's the real acid test. He's in the Brighton first team squad, but there was a certain Giacores who scored twice in the final a few seasons ago. He's not doing too bad for himself either, but he's trying to use Brighton as a bit of a blueprint at Horsham. They want to make sure they're good in possession. They are good in possession. They like to play attacking football. Brighton like to play attacking football. We should be in for an absolute treat here this season. It'll be 10 years as manager of Horsham in April for Don De Paolo, and he says it's a long time anywhere. They've got a lot on their plate, but they like to be successful, and he has been successful, and he hopes to achieve success this season, and that could come in the form of not just the promotion but also the prospect of silverware if they were to come through this tough game against Brighton Hove Albion and then get the better of Littlehampton Town in the final. Well, the tunnel has been pulled. The referee is ready to lead out the two teams. Brighton Hove Albion in their traditional blue and white shirts, blue shorts, white socks. Horsham, the Hornets, in their gold and green. Who will come out on top? The time will tell. I'm excited for this one. I hope you are too, listening wherever you are, thanks to your instant replay. So let's just run through the two lineups again. We'll start with Brighton Hove Albion. So it'll be Stephen Hall in goal. It'll be a back four of Tasker, Penman, Owusu and Mills. It'll be Bashir lining up on the right of midfield, Moulton on the left, Knighton, Shishan in the middle, and Robertson and Belmont will lead the line in what we believe to be a 4-4-2 formation for Horsham. Carey, the stalwarts of Sussex football, will be in goal for them. A back four of Sparks, Philpott, Strange and Lee Harding. A midfield trio anchored by Barker with Hammond and Daly in support. And then Reece Miles-Milkins on the right, Daniel Ajikai on the left, and Lucas Rodriguez will lead the line. And there are those Horsham players getting the customary team photo ahead of this one. It's got an intensity about it. The cold air is cutting through already here at Culver Road, but it's sure to heat up on the pitch. As the two captains, Joe Knight and James Hammonds, called over by the referee to get the pre-match handshakes, the pre-match coin toss. Who will gain the early advantage? Plenty of options on the bench for both sides as well. For Brighton, Shane and T, Nemir Oriola, Callum McKay and Aidan West. For Horsham, one of the scorers in the final last year, Shamir Fenelon. We've also got Ogun Wamadi, Jack Brivio, Montel Ajuman and Chris Dixon on the bench, so plenty to call upon for either side should they need to. And it looks like it'll be Brighton Hove Albion to kick us off here this evening at Culver Road. From left to right as you look on as the Horsham players, one last huddle. It's game time. It's Brighton Hove Albion versus Horsham, and it's live from Culver Road. The music blaring, and now starting to fade as Knight will get us underway. Away we go. And immediately it's out on this right-hand side with Tasker. Horsham just allowing Brighton to enjoy a spell of possession with no pressure. Eventually Daly goes to it. There's absolutely no pressure on the ball. Hall back to Penman. Brighton looking to control and not allow Horsham to get into a fast start. They have scored a lot of early goals this season, particularly home games at the Camping World Stadium. But right now it's a slow, steady, measured approach from Brighton Hove Albion. Back again with Hall. Just edging Horsham up the pitch. They're up as far as Harway, and there they are, leaving into a track to play one over the top. Harding had to be alert and comes across his Philpott to just prevent Belmont from getting a chance to on goal. Brighton just trying to suck the Horsham players up the pitch and lead them into that long ball over the top. It's thrown on the far side. Miles Meekham's is the lone player up front for Horsham. At the moment, he can't get a kick of the ball. Owosu calls for it and gets it just inside the centre circle. And as you may expect, Brighton, the early control of the ball, long ball over the top from Mills. Moulton will give chase. He manages to poke the ball back as Brighton trying to fashion the first chance of the day. Daly got a foot in there for Horsham. Eventually cleared away. There's Owosu. Tasker pulling out to the right, instead it goes back to Hall. Knight and Shishane exchanging passes. And now the run's coming on the right-hand side. Here's Bashir looking to get on the end of that. Sparks just going to sit knocked over his head. Across comes Strange, high and hanging. It's all a bit scrappy. And eventually Daly fouled by Robertson. Horsham can maybe start to get a spell of possession of their own with Carey. Long out to the right-hand side. Doesn't quite reach Harding. Fired forward up towards Miles Meekham. Back again it comes the other way. Belmont just caught coming back into an onside position. As the Lardy army behind the goal there, attacking it, trying to get themselves into full voice. It's Rodriguez trying to make a nuisance of himself. And the Horsham fans coming up with the chant of champions of Sussex, we know who we are. Knight, the loose pass. Horsham look to work it. Ajakai, chance maybe for Rodriguez, off the post. It's behind for a corner. My oh my, that was close. Rodriguez. First real attack for Horsham. So close for the opener. Brighton have left two players up. It's just forcing Hammond to sit back a little bit deeper. Brighton do get the ball. There's a real chance of a counter. But right now they've got to defend this corner, which is swung in by Sparks. Headed across from Harding. Now on an 8 gold shirt there to meet it. Here is a loose touch. Harding. What a moment that was for Lucas Rodriguez. Just thumping the base of the post. Layer from Shishane out to the far side, and Mills will launch on forwards. It's Robertson, happy to win the corner. Shane tries to help it up the line. Good defending, cleared away. Back come Brighton once more. Eventually Miles Meekums helps it on and gets it clear for Horsham. Carey's got to be careful. Over the head of Sparks, and Bashir will let it go out of play. Tasker straight back to Owasu. From this Brighton side.
The main stand is a no standing area. If you're in that yellow zone, you're potentially blocking the view of others. Thank you.
It's Knight. Back to Owasu. Now Penman. Short passes from Brighton of Albion. As they look to pull the Horsham players out of position once more. Ajakai and Miles Meekham's playing slightly deeper. Not being out. That's a beautiful little turn from Robertson. Pull of the shirt, free kick. Here's Penman. Brighton players just enjoying the ball at their feet at the moment. Tasker's come the right-hand side. He wanted the ball, instead it went the other way. He's still there calling for it. The ball eventually comes out to this right-hand side, but instead it goes to Penman once more. Back to Hall. And now the press comes. Hall to Owosu, who's got to be sure-footed. He got caught after the ball had been played. Bashir with a nice little flick, and here come Brighton again with Robertson. Lovely long diagonal ball. Here's Moulton. Moulton plays the ball through. Can he cut it? The cross is just fired. Just past the near post. Good chance that for Brighton Hove Albion. Good work. Crossfield ball initially from Bashir on this near side. Moulton's clever little ball through. Shane close to giving Albion the lead. Well, Shannon Roof was speaking about this game. They've done a lot of homework on how Horsham play. I look to try and nullify that, and so far, barring one opportunity, they've managed to succeed in the opening 10 minutes or so. There's a real tussle in midfield, and it's Brighton who come away with the ball. Here's Tasker, Bashir up ahead of him. Ajakai does well just to thwart him. Knights. And once again, Brighton just slow it down. Horsham well organised. Got to be switched on. Owosu. Penman once more. As soon as Brighton players are moving ahead of them, they're being followed. There's no real forward option for the ball to go at the moment. Horsham being a good job of making it difficult for Brighton. It's going to take a moment of skill to get through. Shane has to lay it back first time to Penman. Bashir's pulled away on this near side. Ball instead in the middle to Shane. He can now turn. Horsham will be happy with this, with the ball here. There doesn't appear to be any danger, but that could change in an instant as Knight looks to clip one over the top. Tasker was the intended target. Sparks heads it away. Kept alive by Robertson. Now Knight. Give and go with Shane. Knight does look at an imposing figure there in the middle of the midfield as they work out to the left-hand side. Here's Mills. That's a loose pass picked off. Miles Meekham's back to Harding's. Got to deal with that. He was under real pressure there. Not just one long for Rodriguez. Penfield gets there first, playing as far as Miles Meekham's, and now Rodriguez is on an onside position. Brings the ball down, and here come Horsham again, looking for their opportunity, and there's a cross, and there's no Horsham player in the vicinity. Does have a similar feel, this game, to the Eastbourne Borough Littlehampton Town semi-final, the other semi-final. Good header from Miles Meekham's, trying to keep the attack alive, and the shot comes in eventually. Just skews wide. Miles Meekham's apologising. Former Brighton youth product himself. And up through the youth system for signing for Worthing. Long diagonal again. This time Harding's there first. Horsham recover possession in the middle. They can work it down the line. Across comes Penfold to clear. Harding's there again. Now Knight just caught as he played that one back to Penfold. Owusu bring it forwards. Lovely little first time layout for Robertson. Switch of play. Looking for Moulton. Brighton retain possession. Now look for the ball forwards. Easily picked off by Strange. Nice ball into the feet of Rodriguez, who does well to hold off the challenge, and he wanted to play advantage, but the referee had already blown. Hammonds. Today, Lee Harding. Certainly going to take no prisoners. There's Robertson with the first time layoff. Now the challenges come in. It's Daly who's left down on the turf, and Bashir can lead a breakaway for Brighton. Bashir tries the little rollover, and then he didn't manage it the first time or the second time. It was cleared away. Meanwhile, Daly's down on the turf, right in the centre circle. He's going to need some treatment. Just a chance for either side. Horsham could have opened the scoring through Rodriguez, the base of the post denying him. For Brighton, a couple of half chances. Shine Roof just giving some instructions to Moulton, who's going to switch wings, I think, with Bashir. Those two are in conversation. Now he's having a word with Robertson as well. Bashir's stayed out on this right-hand side. I imagine they're going to look to try and drop those balls in behind. And that's the question of this Horsham back line that so far stood up to the task, been more than ready for anything that Brighton's shown at them. As Daly's making his way off the pitch, it could be good to continue. Just keep an eye on that, as he's just going to get something out of it. Kit bag, it looks like. Brighton play on. There's Owusu. Horsham naturally sitting back as they're a man shy. Knight to Penman. Line to Moulton, who looks to come inside. It's like a 4-on-4 at the moment for Horsham as they try and keep their shape. Ball's cut back and then cleared away for a throw-in. Daly still not showing any signs of coming back on. So Owusu finds Tasker. Horsham still down to 10 men momentarily. Tasker to Owusu. It's Moulton looking to play the give and go. That's loose from Knight, and Miles Meekins gets tripped, and the referee is going to have a word. Miles Meekins was all alone. Be a talking to and no more. As Horsham are going to have to make a change. So Daly is off, and it looks like Fenlon is primed and ready to come on. So I'd imagine that Rodriguez may drop into midfield.
Replacing number 14, Joel Daly, is number 9, Shania Fenelon.
Fenelon, who scored the second of Horsham's 3 goals in their 3-0 win over Hastings in the final last year. It's back on the pitch again. Long ball up towards Ajakai, just squirms out of play. And Fenelon has gone up top and Rodriguez has indeed dropped into midfield. So Barker just sitting the deeper of Hammond and Rodriguez. Paul looking for Moulton. Harding gets there first. Horsham appealing to the assistant on this near side for offside. Knight back to Owosu. As Horsham try and squeeze the space again. They've just jogged up, but Strange has just dropped back and he's just played Bashir on side as Strange comes across to head that one out. Tasker to Knight. Asked a lot of Owosu, who's got to sprint back towards his own goal. He's got plenty of time to recover. Horsham once again take up a high line on the halfway. Owosu allowed to walk the ball forwards. Knight decides to take it on his own and then forced under the pressure from Hammonds. Come Horsham. Miles Meekums, who steps inside well, and once again he's brought down, but this time the referee not interested in giving a free kick, but good battling from Rodriguez, and that will be a free kick. And I would say that the crowd is probably marginally more Horsham based in terms of support. Didn't like the referees not awarding of the initial challenge. Phil Potts back to Strange. Harding. Clipped long. There's the high hanging one. Just over onto the roof of the net. Lewis carried the Horsham keeper, giving out encouragement from the edge of his area. Philpott's just being pulled to Mark Robertson more tightly. Just means the space on the outside as Strange and Harding have pulled in. As Brighton look to work it up the line. Once again, ball pass is picked off, and there's Fenelon giving chase for the first time and using his strength to get the better of Knight. Fenelon and Knight, that's a good little battle. And it's Horsham that get the better of that decision. That's the physicality that Shannon Roof was talking about, that his team will experience the benefit that they'll get. Will they deploy the long throw? No, in fact it goes back to Barker. Barker to Meekums. That's nice football. Brilliant from Meekums. Clips it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. There's Ajakai. Can he score? Oh, it's just off the post again. Rebound! Deflected! And somehow Horsham haven't scored. It was Sparks who nearly got onto the final effort. Brighton's goal leading a charmed life. Twice Horsham denied by the woodwork. Corner. We swung in towards the back post. Plenty of yellow shirts now charging towards the front post, and the free kick is a goal corner kick, I should say, was rather disappointing in the end. Really good move though from Horsham. was Owosu, the hero for Brighton in the end, blocking the final effort from Strange to keep Brighton's clean sheet intact. Knight allowed to turn, and playing at this pace, we've seen a few sloppy passes, and there's the press from Magikai. Tasker taking no risks, forwards it goes, and there's Philpott right on Robertson's back, and he's maybe forced a mistake. The keeper doesn't get there initially, and it requires Penman to come across and clear the danger. Comes off a Horsham player. Brighton living dangerously. Long diagonal up towards Robertson, who nods it back to Knight. Knight just skews that one high into the crowd, and it out for a Horsham throw, and they've taken it quickly. Philpott under pressure from Robertson. Carey will have to deal with this one quickly. Robertson's got pace. He switches it out to Harding on the right. Harding just had to check his run. The ball didn't reach him. And Strange taking no risks. Puts the ball out for a throw-in. And back to Hall. Horsham have been more than happy for Brighton to have possession at the back here. Bashir gave a loud shout on this right side. He's been overlooked. When Brighton have eventually played the ball forwards, Robertson just made a run that was also ignored by Knight. He was just allowed to stand on the ball. Groans coming from the crowd. It's back with the keeper, and he always makes a mistake, and Penman there to step in. Here's Knight. This slow players cause mistakes, but it could lead to something special here. As Robertson just lost track of the ball, and challenge came in from Magikai. Cleared away by Sparks. Nice control from Rodriguez. Hammonds back to Harding. Horsham playing under pressure, but being assured of their passes, and now Carey will have to launch it high into the air. Owosu rises highest. Harding back for Horsham. Scrap in the middle, and there looked to be a handball there from Shishane, and it's against Miles Meekums. There's Owosu. You can understand this from Horsham. They want to get themselves engaged, get themselves put out of position. Penfolds plays it back to Knight. Robertson caught on his toes. Tasker. Magikai trying to give chase with him. Back it goes to Shishane. Out to Mills on the left-hand side. Just to work it up the line. To settle for the throw-in. Morton takes quickly. I feel like Brighton needs to step up a gear here. Yet to ask a question of Lewis Carey in the Horsham goal. Shishane to Knight. And Horsham will be looking to test his nerve. As Morton brings the ball in field. Now Robertson. A little layoff, it's awkward for Tasker, but he deals with it well, and Knight just to clip one over the head of Sparks, who had to watch it bounce before hooking it away. Tasker will see it out. Horsham throw. Owasi. Shane tries to slide it in again, a misplaced pass, and Hammond picks it off. Fenelon. It's got 4 Horsham players up in this attack. Early ball in towards Rodriguez. It's going to drop for Hammond, who hits it on half volley, and then Rodriguez almost turns it in. Missed kick from Hammond, almost turned into the perfect pass. And once again, Brighton survive. Well, half an hour gone here, and Horsham may not have been on top in terms of possession, but they've certainly been on top in the way of chances, and they will be frustrated that they haven't been able to break the deadlock here. Once again, Penman will carry it forward. Bashir's made that diagonal, instead it goes towards Robertson, who's beaten to it by Phil Potts. Wilson under pressure himself, and that will be a free kick. Just a bit too much that time from Harding. And he started his career at Burgess Hill Town, playing alongside his brother Pat, a man who's made many appearances in the Sussex football scene. Owasu. Now Penman. Robertson again has Phil Pott right on his back, and this time he does well to ride not 1 but 2 challenges, and eventually the referee does give the decision. Ross Meekham's has to be a little bit careful there. Tasker to get that ball away quickly. Lovely little first time there from Bashir, and he's made the run on ahead. Phil put across the cover. Carey with the clearance. Owasi once again there with his head. There's lots of pushing and shoving from both players, and the referee just happy to let it play on as Hammond gets it back to Harvey Sparks. Knight back for Brighton. Robertson into the air. There was no attempt to play the ball. Frustration boiling over from the youngster. And then he's blocked the taking of a free kick, and that'll be the game's first yellow cards. And now Knight's trying to remonstrate with the referee, but he can't delay a free kick like that. Needless booking for Robertson. And Philpott will leave this for Carey. Over to the far side. Harding rises highest. Good tracking back and defending from Olsen. Hall. Let's walk the ball forwards. Short to Penman. Once again, Bashir's got plenty of space on this near side. Brighton not really looking to their right-hand side too often, but maybe they will now with Knight. Tasker pulled away, and that made it awkward for Knight. He's gone down under the challenge of Hammond, and Hammond shows his frustration. There was certainly a tug of the shirt. Brighton get on with the game quickly, and Knight is slow to get back to his feet. Penman exchanging passes with Shishane. And now Bashir's run all the way back just to try and get involved on this near side. He's got acres of space if Brighton want to play the ball that way. Instead, Knight goes back to his goalkeeper, and that's just allowed Horsham to put up and push up towards halfway again. Shane, first time ball through to Robertson. Once again, he's got Philpott winning the ball off of his toes. And Ajakai up against Tasker. And Ajakai got to the ball, but Tasker was happy for him to do so. But then Ajakai wins it back and wins the throw-in. And that's got the Horsham fans going. Throw into Horsham in a promising position on this near side. Hammond back to Philpott. Here's Hammond again. Now Barker. Strange couldn't make a loose touch there. First time up the line from Harding. And cleared away. And it's onto the top of the dugouts. Into the last 10 minutes or so of the first half. Still Brighton Hove Albion 0, Horsham 0 in this Sussex Transport Senior Cup semi-final. The winners, of course, will face Littlehampton in the final at the Amex. Back to Penman. Shane short. It's often been the case, but Brighton taking the ball the wrong way again. Knight to Penman. Both wingers, Moulton and Bashir, are trying to play right on the toes of the two fullbacks for Horsham. Eventually it does go long up towards Bashir. He'd come in as the ball goes the other way. And Sparks just uses his strength to shield the ball out of play. Philpott to Carey. He's got time to take a touch, and it goes towards Harding. Harding took it down well initially. Moulton across to put the ball out of play. It's Barker. Strange to Philpott. He's got to be under pressure there. Almost lost out. Bashir. And that decision's gone Brighton's way, and Sparks let his feelings know to the lines when the assistant referee down on this near side. He may have a point. Penman to Knight. Takes a touch. Bashir's made the run, but instead it goes short to Tasker, and Adja Boy's right on his touch. Bashir against Sparks. And Bashir does really, really well to ride the challenge and keep possession for his side. Penman was allowed to run a long way with the ball there. Moulton falls back again. Knight to Penman. Now Robertson's made the run, instead it's gone long, and Moulton's not going to get there. Easy for Carey. It was yet to be tested in the Horsham net. In fact, neither goalkeepers had a save to make in truth. Horsham hitting the woodwork twice. Hammond has got a bit of space in midfield and looks to launch one over the top, but that's got too much on that, and Hall can gather in the other penalty area. Both teams at the moment, systems are cancelling each other out as this semi-final looks to get the spark it needs to get going. Robertson can't bring that ball under a spell, but it breaks nicely for Tasker. Bashir was in acres of space on this near side, but Tasker came infield instead. Now Knight is the outlet. Knight doesn't want to carry the ball forwards and certainly looks to go sideways, and just caught Shane on his heels, and back it goes to the goalkeeper. A few moans from some watching in the crowd. Brighton in an advanced position there. Wasu, now Shane, Penman, will carry it over halfway. Tries to force the ball. Harding gets there first. Now Hammonds over the top. Wasu has to keep his eyes on it and does well to hook it away. Robertson, lovely bit of footwork from him, and then just caught by Philpott. And Wasu just got the ball caught onto his foot momentarily. A couple of players have suffered the same fate, something that Shannon Reeve mentioned in his pre-match talk. It's a free kick given to Horsham, but playing in these 3G pitches are going to be a new experience and a bit of a test for some of their players. They've got to get used to it. They've had it 3 times now this season. Another loose pass is picked off, and Meekums goes down, and another Horsham free kick. Mills the culprit on that occasion. Chance maybe for James Hammond to deliver something special into the box. They're putting the big boys up from the back. Harding, Philpott and Strange all lining up in a posse of 6 Horsham players on the edge of the area. We know Hammond does quality with his deliveries. He clips it towards the edge of the area. It's nodded by Philpott, and it's required the save from the goalkeeper. It seemed to take an age going towards goal, but it needed dealing with by Hall. It will go down as the first effort on target in the last 5 minutes of the first half, and once again it's Horsham asking the questions. And that big contingent of Horsham fans, the Lardy Army, behind that goal, will be willing this to be a good delivery. It's gone short. Back to Hammonds. Hammond clips it towards the far post. Pulling away is Harding, who gets there, and once again Hall has to claw it away. So less than a couple of minutes, Hall called into action. This time Harding denied. Horsham ending the first half strongly. Still goalless at Culver Road, the Sussex Transport Senior Cup semi-final. Brighton Hove Albion 0, Horsham 0. Corner towards the far post from Hammond. It's over the head of Rodriguez. Turned back towards Hammond. Ajakai also giving chase. Promising moment for Horsham. Comes to nothing. Dom DePallo will certainly be happy with how his side have played in this first half. Brighton have been allowed plenty of possession in these sort of areas. They've yet to really test this Horsham back line. They did so early in the first few seconds with a long ball over the top, which Hall tries now. Bashir just lost it in the floodlights. Sparks gets his head on it. Back it goes from Shane, but can't find a blue and white shirt. Up the line from Sparks, over the head of Fenlon, but Ajakai brings it down really nicely to Rodriguez. The space for Miles Meekums out on the far side. Miles Meekums into the area. Just has to check and play the ball back to Harding. Miles Meekums is still there, but just a mix-up of communication on that far side. Just for a minute there, it looked like it was going to break for Miles Meekums. There was echoes of that opening goal in the final last year against Hastings United, where he burst through on that right-hand side and cut into the area. Not on that occasion. Sparks has got to go and deal with that. In fact, he didn't, as Philpott was there yet again for Horsham. Bashir forced back. Ajiboy tries to put the pressure on, he just clips the shins of Bashir. No, he doesn't. Referee gives the throw to Horsham. It's taken quickly, and Hammond goes down. I think he's bought that one from Robertson. Challenge came in, and Robertson got the Horsham fans asking the question. It seemed like Hammond used his experience there to go to ground. It was force from Robertson, who's kind of frustrated figure at times this evening. And now the referee just going to have a word with Rodriguez. Maybe he said something out of turn. The result is a free kick for Horsham, and James Hammond in a really promising position. Ajiboy is short. Should they elect to use that option? All right. 4, make that 5 Horsham players lined up along the width of the D on the edge of the penalty area.
A minimum of 2 minutes additional time, a minimum of
2 minutes of additional time, which wins the first of those as Knight goes down in the box. The delivery is cleared away, but only as far as Ajiboy. Ajiboy to take on Bashir. Gets the early cross in, headed away at the near post. Just bounced awkwardly, and Sparks misses out. And here's the chance for the breakaway as Robertson releases Moulton. Bashir is completely free in the middle if he can be found. Here's Bashir for Brighton. Nice footwork, and now the flag goes up against the Brighton winger. And there's a bit of afters as well. Hammond and Bashir getting into it. The referee, James Curtin's just going to have to temper some calm here, or calm some tempered flair, I should say. And the 2 number 7s can move on, and we can get on with the game. First real chance Brighton had to break away and attack at this Horsham backline. Bashir just a fraction offside. As Carey will launch this one towards Harding again. Harding is there. Hammond's just going through the back, and there's Robertson. Bashir just waiting for the ball to come, and Sparks was there for Horsham. Here's Fenlon. He was just caught after he'd played the pass. Hammond's square to Barker. Can Horsham produce one last moment before the break? Right up the line. Miles Meekham's brilliant from him. Felt he was having his shirt pulled. And that will be that for the first half. Horsham haven't seen much of the ball, but they have troubled the Brighton Hove Albion back line twice. They've been denied by the woodwork. First by Rodriguez, then James Hammond. Goalless at the break between Brighton Hove Albion and Horsham. The second half tentatively poised as we await to see who will play Littlehampton Town in the final at the Amex Stadium. Join us for all of the action live here from Culver Road. The half-time score is Brighton Hove Albion 0, Horsham 0. It's all about the Amex Stadium for the final of the Sussex Transport Senior Cup between Horsham and Hastings United, two famous Sussex clubs.
And both sides, I think, are going to go all out for it, considering it's the last game of the season. Of course, a new winner to be announced in the evening. The next 90 minutes of football will find out who will take this trophy off Worthing.
And here's the potential first opportunity for Horsham. Curled round, and there's the first goal in the back of the net. Reece Miles Beacons celebrates into the corner. It's Horsham who take the lead inside 6 minutes. He gets into the area on his left foot, lays the ball onto the edge and now out towards Harding. Harding looking to pick out a man at the back post. They're queuing up there, and it's headed in from close range, and it's Fenelon to make it Hastings United 0, Horsham 2. And here goes Ajakai to make it 3, and he does! Hastings United 0, Horsham 3. Ajakai sends the Lordy Army into dreamland. And there is the final whistle. And Horsham have won the Sussex Transport Senior Cup final. They've beaten Hastings United by 3-0. We hope to see you again next year. Thank you very much for watching. Welcome back to Culver Road with a half-time score in the Sussex Transport Senior Cup semi-final. Is Brighton Hove Albion 0, Horsham 0. Well, you would say that Horsham manager Dom DePaolo will certainly be the happier of the two managers at the interval. The side have allowed Brighton to have possession of the ball. Well, they have created the chances, twice denied by the woodwork. Rodriguez inside the opening 5 minutes. James Hammond a whisker away from giving Horsham what would ultimately, on the balance of play and the balance of chances, would be a deserved lead. Brighton really yet to get going in an attacking sense. The change of pace from the Premier League 2 to the Sussex Senior Cup, they haven't quite adjusted to it yet. Maybe a half-time rollicking from Shannon Roof will have them coming out with a bit more attacking intent. It was far too passive from them in the first half, as both these clubs look to secure a place in the final against Littlehampton Town, as Horsham get us underway in the second half. And it's immediately launched towards this near side, and it was beyond Fenelon. It's probably intended to come out to Miles Meekham's on this near side. So Wasu launches one long. Sparks volleys it away. Knight for Brighton. Tasker showing some physicality. And Brighton need to match that from Horsham. A few times they're out-muscled and out-fought on the ball. It's Bashir didn't really get involved in that first half, and now looking to get Brighton going in the second half. A kind of frustrated figure, as he didn't receive the ball when he made plenty of runs in and had plenty of space on the right-hand side. It's Lewis Carey play that one first time. Miles Meekham's leaves it. Rodriguez for Brighton. Poked back by Mills to Penman, and Hall just had to be a bit quicker than he imagined initially. And Harding does really well against Moulton. Harding in towards the feet of Fenelon. To Rodriguez. Rodriguez chests it down. I thought he was going to hit it momentarily. Then opted for the pass. Miles Meekham's just about keeps it in play and tries to go on the outside, and Rodriguez goes down. Free kick for the challenge by Mills. I think the shout won the free kick more than the challenge, but an audible scream let out by Rodriguez, former Whitehawk player. And Horsham have an early chance from this free kick. It's their captain, James Hammond, once again, who will look to whip this one in. He was out before all the other players warming up to start this second half. This is a bit of pushing and shoving in the area that the referee is going to keep an eye on. It's Fenelon and Tasker. In fact, Philpott and Tasker, I should say. Tasker still leaning into Philpott, as Philpott tries to get around the backside of the keeper. Referee keeping a close eye on that one. Delivery comes in from Hammond in front of the goalkeeper. It's headed away. Miles Meekham's deals with the awkward bounce and hooks it back into the area. Headed away again. Adjaboy strikes out of foot, and then Knight gets it clear for Brighton. Sparks not taking any risks, heads it out for a throw-in. Moulton wanted to take it quickly. Mills back to Penman. This time Knight goes early, looking to release Bashir. Once again, Sparks deals with it. It's a bit more intent there as Knight goes through Rodriguez, who does really well to get himself between the ball and the man, and Miles Meekins wanted the ball played early. Maybe Brighton will go a bit more direct a bit earlier in this first half. They were a bit passive in the first half. Tasker headed away momentarily. Shishane works the ball out to the right-hand side. Has to be cleared away quickly from Tasker. Strange there for Horsham. It's all a bit scrappy. Now their team getting hold of the ball. Strange back to Lewis Carey in the Horsham goal. Playing for Horsham now after many years playing for Lewis. Lee Harding does well, tries to feed the ball through to Miles Meekins, just beyond him. Penman with the big heads. Knights will cushion it back to his centre-back, and now Hall has time now to take a touch. Knight taking his time on the ball. Hall low as Brighton try and play their way out. So far so good, but it only takes one mistake, as we saw in the other semi-final, as Eastbourne Borough conceded an early second half goal to Littlehampton Town from a back pass to their goalkeeper. It's high from Carey. Miles Meekins beaten to it by Penman. Barker got there for Horsham. It's over the head of Robertson. Shishane trying to keep it alive. So again, the ball not settling for either side. Shishane tries to play it through. Harding gets it back to Carey. Once again, high into the air. Mills just bounced off him. Both him and Miles Meekins lost it in the sky. Knights forced down back by his own corner flag. As the second half looks to be following a similar pattern to the first. And there's a nice ball though to release Mills, who can turn and go. Rodriguez hot on his heels. Just forced Mills back, and Shishane had to wait for the ball to come to him. Fenlon almost stepped in. Brighton keeping possession. Awawasu. There's a bit of space for Moulton. Hasn't really been able to open and stretch his legs yet, but he does now. Plays the ball infield to Shishane. Shishane infield, not controlled, and Rodriguez can play Miles Meekins up the line to Fenlon. He's got to hold that ball up for Horsham. He does well against two, and then tries to play it up the line. Horsham wanting a free kick, but Knight put himself in the right place. Awawasu awkwardly plays it forwards off the back of Philpott's head. Could have gone anywhere, but Harding will pick up the second ball. And then clip it out to the far side. Adjuboy just had to check his shoulder. And nice touch as he tries to play it down to Sparks down the line. Sparks just losing out. And Brighton with Bashir. He loses out to Adjuboy. Adjuboy wanted to take that on himself, and he's made it his. Hammond to Meekins. Meekins lines it up. Shots deflected. Could have gone anywhere. From a Brighton's point of view, they're fortuitous to keep possession. Hammond wants a free kick. Still, referee doesn't blow his whistle until Hammond is deemed to have handled the ball. Not much really in either challenge. Brighton play the ball over the top. And here's a chance for Belmont. Belmont just shows too much to Philpott. He gets a good foot in. And there's Adjuboy, who's had a quiet game by his standards, understandably. Not got as involved as he'd like in an attacking sense. He's done a lot of good defensive work. We saw flashes of him there. As the ball goes back to Lewis Carey. Carey angles it nicely for Miles Meekins. Meekins steps inside and just pokes it away before Knight could nick it off him. Harding Plays it into the channel and Fenlon gets the better of Penman. Fenlon does well to cut back. Can he work the angle for a cross? He's tried the pass, tried to be too clever, just needed to get the ball in. Harding putting the pressure on. Free kick given. Horsham fans around me feel that was soft against Halton. It's Tasker. On the line to Bashir. Bashir lay off. Tasker looks to get going. Just a heavy touch. Horsham should be able to pick it off, but they don't, and Bashir steps in again. Another heavy touch forwards has enabled Horsham to clear it, at least momentarily. Rodriguez losing out to Knight. Here's Shishane. Now Knight. Tried to keep possession and has kept possession. Thought he'd initially lost it to Rodriguez, but he's done well to hold him off not once but twice, and the third time he goes over, and that'll be a free kick. First time layout for Robertson. It's Shane trying to lift one over the top. Brighton yet to really put an attacking move together. The one breakaway opportunity towards the end of the first half. Bashir caught himself offside as Hammond looks to release Ajiboye. Just a heavy touch from him, and Shane can bring it clear for Brighton, but he plays a loose pass, and here come Horsham again. Here's Ajiboye looking to work the ball into the boss. Is he going to break back for Ajiboye? No. Good play from Task, who can work it up the line. Philpott gets there first. He wanted it more. Horsham come again. Sparks to Hammond. Sparks has made the angle for the cross. Goes all the way through. It's up for Fenelon. No, doesn't quite drop for him. Just span away. Another nearly moment for Horsham. Moulton. Penman frustrated. No one for him to pass the ball to. Knight, who's almost playing like a third centre-back at the moment. He'll look to launch a ball over the top, and that's going to go all the way through to Kerry, who was already in a good starting position on the edge of his area. Long ball over the head of Hammonds. Barker just gets it to Philpott. Sparks tries to play up the line, Bashir blocks it. Belmont's couldn't bring it down for Brighton. That's an awkward one back for Carey. He does really well to just it, and now he's got to deal with it. And he just about does it. I don't know if that goes down as showboating from Lewis Carey, but he got away with it. And once again, we're in the familiar pattern with Brighton having the ball at the back with Owusu. There's a real lack of urgency on the half possession. Really static. There's no movement at all. Looking around the whole pitch. One Brighton player is offering themselves open, and Shannon Roof's seen enough. He's got a double change coming up very shortly. Philpott once again going in strong, that time on Belmont, who seems to be dropping the shorter of the two strikers now. Now he's looking to make the run in behind. So Owusu carries it forward. Bashir just caught, waiting for the ball to come to him. Does win the free kick though. Shannon Roof is going to make that double change. And Robertson, who's on a yellow card, is going to be replaced by Oriola.
Substitution for for Brighton and Hove Albion in the 58th minute, replacing number 10 Joshua Robertson, is number 14 Nehemiah Oriola.
Oriola has gone out onto that right-hand side. That's the target there. There was definitely two players stripped off ready to come on. This Knight picks it up in the middle for Brighton. It's a pass that Task has to deal with. He does well to create some space for himself. Hammond boxes it away. So still goalless as we're at the hour mark here at Culver Road in the Sussex Transport Senior Cup semi-final. Brighton Hove Albion versus Horsham. The winner will play Littlehampton Town in the final at the Amex in May. No chances to write home about in the second half. The first half, Horsham hit the woodwork twice. Zawusu brings the ball out from the back. Tasker gets it back for his side. Knights to Penman. And it goes to Bashir, who's now worked out on the left-hand side. Harding gets a foot in as well there. Brighton have the throw. Penman inside the Horsham half. Shane wants it. He looks to switch it over the far side to Oriola. Here is Oriola. First time he can get into the box, and he drives at the Horsham back line. Checks it back. Ball in from Tasker. Flicked away. There's Bashir on the volley. And that wasn't far from nestling into that far corner. Great first time effort from Bashir. Closest Brighton have come to breaking the deadlock. Horsham almost caught trying to play out from the back. Long it goes towards Harding. Harding beaten to it. Bashir hooks it over his heads. Flick on into the path of Moulton. Moulton, a strong challenge from Philpott. Tasker. Out to Oriola. Oriola coming inside. Already looks to be a bit more attacking intent since the introduction of Oriola. Chip ball forwards. Brighton want the corner, and they get it. I believe it's their first corner of the evening. Oriola will take this one. Moulton is standing right on top of the goalkeeper. It's whipped in towards the near post, turned away by Harding. And Miles Meekums will carry it clear up towards halfway. He's on his own, and he's dragged down to the turf, and that's the easiest yellow cards to be given by referee James Curtin. And Penman becomes the second Brighton player in the book. And Miles Meekums had no one around him at all. Wasn't really going anywhere. Needless yellow card in the circumstances, and Horsham are going to make another change, and it's Ajakai who's going to come off.
Substitution for Horsham in the 64th minute. Replacing number 10, Daniel Ajakai, is number 11, Ola Ogunwamide.
Ogunwamide comes on to replace him, former Lewis man. saying it's been a quiet evening for Ajakai, but he's just started to get involved in the game. Again, Wamade would provide a new threat as Miles Meekums wins the ball when Barker. The shot comes in. Sorry, it's Rodriguez who came in with a shot. I wonder what Barker would be doing that high up the pitch. It's Rodriguez whose effort required the save from Hull. Shane has got Hammond right on his back. Penman can walk the ball out. As Brighton have pulled two players out to this left-hand side. It's short to Knight. Knight, the long diagonal the other way. And that's Sparks missing it. The shot comes in. Goal kick. They're looking for that ball over the top in behind. Hasn't yet come off. Probably the closest it's come. Long from Carey. Philpott and Fenlon jumping together. It's going to break for Rodriguez, who tries to release from Ogunwamade. Tasker will bring it clear. Back to Knight, who seems to always be an option to play the ball backwards to. Now Penman. Mills is short. Instead he turns and plays it back to Orsu. Tasker steps inside of Ogunwamade and now opens his legs. Just overrun the ball. Cleared away, and Penman's got to be alert as Miles Meekums was chasing down. Horsham fans wanted him to carry on the press onto the goalkeeper as Mills controls that ball and cushions it back to Penman. Shishane. Now Penman. Shishane again. Hammond's in close attention. Brighton just knocking it out to the right-hand side, looking for that little give and go. And it's clipped forward. Oriola coming inside. Referee plays advantage as Brighton still have possession. Here's Shishane, clips it out to this near side. Bashir back to Shishane. Brighton will start again. Instead the ball comes for infield this time. Slip from Moulton at the wrong moment for him. It's really good from Knight. He uses his strength to muscle off Miles Meekums. Into the last quarter of the game. Tasker as well. Looks to be a driving force at the back, and he gets the return. He's got a bit of space as well. Just held on to the ball. Oriola looks to step over. Can't get the better of Ogunwamade. Work it down the line for Knight. Knight with the early delivery. Headed away at the back post from Harding. Miles Meekums had to get there first and did enough to get it clear as far as Bashir. And now Penman for Brighton. Penman, it's all about chipping it into the box. Instead plays it down the line for Bashir. Well, that was the intention. And he frustrated with himself with that pass. Still goalless in the Sussex Transport Senior Cup semi-final. Brighton Hove Albion 0, Horsham 0. Culver Road is getting colder. The referee wanting Harding to get on with the game. Looks to work the line. Fenlon flicks it on. Knight's there for Brighton. Rodriguez was right in the face of Owosu, who launches one high. It's awkward for Harding, who uses his strength to hold off Moulton. Fenlon lost track of the ball, but it was a handball from Knight in there. Free kick for Horsham. Both teams needed penalties to progress from the quarter-finals. We're nearing the stage of the game where both teams might start to be thinking that way. So Ogumwamade gets involved as long ball up towards Fenlon. He's beaten to it by Owosu. Brighton now certainly starting to dominate in a more advanced position for the first time in this game. It's a clever run coming in from Belmont. It's not reached him, cleared away by Strange. Shishane back to Penman. Miles Meekham's now's given the press, and Penman turns back to his goalkeeper. And Hall will be allowed time to take a touch. Oriola beaten to it in the air. Brighton are going to make another change. And Bashir is going to come off. Aidan West comes on to replace him.
Substitution for Brighton and Hove Albion in the 70th minute, replacing number 7 Sahil Bashir is number 16 Aidan West.
Tasker just getting
the 50/50
some treatment.
Ticket number 366 is still unclaimed. Please check your pockets. Thank you.
The dugout as well. Now has the ball in his hands. Just had a conversation between him and Shannon Reith as well. As Brighton will look to push on. And West is immediately lined up on this left-hand side as Oriola has to clip the ball out to Mills. Mills has got Miles Meekham's putting him under pressure. Knight is the recipient, pulled short. Penman has to go back to his goalkeeper. Brighton play their way out of that situation. There's Knight. West wanted it up the line, instead goes infield. Moulton goes down. Shishane. Penman allowed to pick his pass, and there is a first touch for West. Infield it goes for Knight. Knight opens up, strikes it. And it's high and wide. But an effort on goal. Carry in, no rush. You wonder. It is in the Horsham players' minds now. Do they play for penalties? It's high from Carey. Harding underneath it. West gets there for Brighton. Harding back for Strange. It's a really awkward throw for him to deal with. Owosu and Penman just getting each other's way. West under pressure from Harding, who's stuck out a little leg and flicks it through. And here goes Rodriguez. Chance to run at the Brighton back line. Ogumwamade takes over. Ogumwamade into the area. Across. And there it is! Horsham lead, Rodriguez! Brilliant attacking move. Brighton stood off, Ogwumade took over, fed it back to Rodriguez, and Rodriguez was there to give Horsham the lead. It started with the flick of the heel from Lee Harding right in front of us here. Nicked it away from West. Rodriguez broke in the middle, went straight at the Brighton back line. Ogwumade released him, and Horsham have the lead, and 16 minutes away from a final against Littlehampton Town, where they'll look to retain the trophy they lifted 10 months ago. Brighton Hove Albion 0, Horsham 1. The Seagulls have been stung by the Hornets. It was a brilliant cut pass from Ogwumade into the area. Rodriguez timed his pass to perfection, and Horsham break the deadlock, and the majority of the fans inside Culver Road celebrated that goal. How will Shannon Roof's Brighton Hove Albion side respond? This is Shane. Now Penman. Surely now needs to be some more urgency from this Brighton side. Penman once again casually walking the ball up before trying to clip one forwards towards Belmont. Headed away, Ogwumade back to Sparks, who's no nonsense clearance up towards Fenlon. Owosu is all over his back, and Fenlon uses his strength, and Owosu stretched out a telescopic leg to hook that one into the air, and has to concede the throw-in, or does he? No, it comes off Fenlon last. Mills drives over halfway. Miles Meekham slid and missed with his challenge. West infield to Shishane. Owosu under pressure. Clipped forward by Tasker, and that's a good way from Belmont. It's into the area, but that's easily dealt with. Cleared away. Knight should pick it up for Brighton. He just bounced off of his chest. Horsham have it back with Hammonds. Or Strange. Sparks will play it up the line. Fennon will give chase, but the ball won't stay in play. Owusu. Now Penman allowed to carry the ball up to halfway. Horsham still keeping a tight formation. There's not much gap between the midfield defence and front two. It looks like now Miles Meekins has shifted to the right of a midfield four. So Rodriguez read that pass and slides in. Hammond goes down, no free kick given. Here goes Oriola, coming inside. Finds Knight. Knight to Mills. Now West. Harding tries to stand him up. Back to Knight. There's no outlet on the left, and Penman frustrated. Tries to slot a difficult ball through. Brighton searching for an opening. Back to Penman again. Owosu wants it, instead it's short to Knight. Owosu just wasn't aware the pass was coming to him. Owosu again. Brighton need to turn up the gears. And it's been the perfect game plan so far for Dom De Paolo, as he looks to be taking his Horsham side to a second successive Sussex Transport Senior Cup final. They lead Brighton Hove Albion by 1-0, but that can change in an instant as Shishane tries to squeeze the ball through. It's Maybe a chance to break. They could leave themselves open. Knight just too strong. Rodriguez just looked towards the referee, wanted a free kick, but Brighton come again. Here's Tasker. Tasker with a strike, and that's good effort. Had power. Never travelling Lewis Carey. Brighton are going to make another change. And Moulton is coming off. Shane and T comes on.
Substitution for Brighton and Hove Albion in the 79th minute, replacing number 11 Romero Moulton is number 12 Shane and T.
So, meanwhile, Fenlon is sitting down in the centre circle. The referee is right by it. Had to call the trainer on, and Horsham might well make a change themselves. Finland's had a right old battle with Owosu.
For the Sussex Transport Senior Cup semi-final tie is 610. 610.
That's the announcement. 610 packed into Culver Roads this evening, as there's a chance for a mini team talk from both managers. Finland still receiving treatment as Horsham are inching ever closer to a return to the Amex. Finland's looking a bit awkwardly. You look at the bench and you wonder if they do make a change. They are going to make a change. Chris Dixon comes on to replace him.
Substitution for Horsham in the...
So there will certainly be a few minutes to be added at the end of the 90. Chris Dixon certainly gets a warm round of applause. And he goes straight to try and push this Brighton line back. He's positioned himself a good 10 yards beyond the Brighton back line. And he's forward trying to force them back, as Carey's kick is shorter than that by some distance, but Miles Meekham's can hook it on. And there's the first touch for Dixon. It just goes underneath his legs, and Shishane gets it back. Lucy. Brighton and Hove Albion. Less than 10 minutes to try and find an equaliser. Much of their game, though, has been like this. Waiting for something to happen. There's been no movement ahead of them. There's no movement again. And Brighton front six players are just standing in a straight line. Eventually it's out to Areola. Tasker just lost track of the ball, and Horsham do well. And Dixon almost released Ogawamide. He did well to nip in and win the ball back for Horsham initially. Horsham you feel they're going to get an opportunity on the break, as Brighton have to push forward and go for this now. Mills plays the ball forwards. There's a first touch for NT. Reminder, Littlehampton Town await the winners of this tie in the final. Currently, it's the holders, Horsham, who are looking to book that place, and they are in pole position. Knight tries to shrug off the attention of Rodriguez. Clip ball up the line. Here's Shishane. Nice ball in field. Knight tries to drive in the air. There's three Horsham players around him, but gets the shot away. It's deflected just past the post. That was close. Heart in the mouth moment for those Horsham fans. From this angle, it looked like it was going to dip inside that far post. Brighton have the corner. Shane will take it. It's deep towards the back post. Just comes off the top of Oriola's head and safely behind from a Horsham point of view for a goal kick. And that was the closest Brighton have come. It wasn't far away. There's Carey taking his time, understandably, as the Horsham fans at the opposite end of the goal start to open their lungs. Along it goes towards Dixon. Lovely control from him, and he's won a free kick for his side as well. Owusu frustrated. It's really good forward play. There's Hammonds out to Ogunwamade. Oriola was there first for Brighton as they look to break and attack on the right-hand side. They need to find a moment of magic to keep them in the competition. Here's Knight. Out to West. West comes inside. Shane. Heavy touch from him. Invited the challenge from Rodriguez, but Brighton keep possession. Shane again. Just forced away from the Horsham goal. Penman with a bit of space to run into if he chooses to, and he elects to. On his left foot, slots it through. There's NT. Didn't have the shot, and Brighton are just being hurried into working the ball around the edge of the box. Oriola coming in on his right foot, checks back on his left. Can he work the angle for the shot? It's really good defending from Ogunwamade. And there's appeals for a penalty, immediately waved away by the referee, and the clearance has smacked the back of Shane, and there's real concern about the Brighton player. There was some force in that clearance, and quite rightly the game has been stopped. Knight was sprinting from the halfway line to come to the aid of his teammate. Brighton just 4 minutes away or so from going out of the Sussex Transport Senior Cup semi-final stage. And this delay is surely going to help Horsham. Let's just hope there's no serious injury concerns, as quite rightly they'll take their time to make sure. I think it's Shane who's down there, gets the treatment he needs. It's 610 packed into Culver Road here this evening, and the large majority of them are the Lardy Army, who have been in full voice behind the goal that Horsham have been attacking. They've just momentarily, like most of the crowd, just making sure that there's no real injury to Shane, who's still receiving treatment, but he is now back sitting. But that Lardy Army have certainly enjoyed some great times over the last few years. They're looking to lift this famous competition, this famous trophy, for the second successive year. And their support has meant a lot to Dom DePaolo. He often speaks about it, the Horsham players often speak about it, what it means to them. And that they couldn't do it without that support. Each and every week they turn up the Camping World Stadium in full voice. They've travelled all around the country to Barnsley last year. And now it will be another trip to a big stadium, the Amex Stadium, potentially, as still receiving treatment down on the grounds. You can just be careful of in these cold conditions that the players don't stiffen up as we get to the latter stage of this one. Just a reminder, Lucas Rodriguez's goal in the 74th minute separates the two sides here at Culver Road. Stoppage in play for a head injury to Shishane. Took the full force of a Jack Strange clearance to the back of the head. And understandably, the medical team are going to take every safe precaution to ensure that he's safe. Meanwhile, Shannon Reef is giving another team talk and another last hurrah for his side. There's going to be a good 7 or 8 minutes of added time, I suspect, signalled by the fourth official in a few seconds' time. As players just needing to keep warmed up. There's certainly a chill in the air at Culver Road, but not if you're a Horsham fan right now. Well, this stretcher appears to have been brought on to help Shishane off the pitch. He did sit up momentarily. They're going to take no risks at all. And let's just hope it's nothing too serious for the young Brighton midfielder. Thank you very much for tuning in, joining and watching us here live on YouTube from the Sussex County FA headquarters here at Culver Road in Lancing. Powered by your instant replay. The Sussex Senior Transport Cup semi-final. A Horsham lead by a goal to nil. It's been a good 6 or 7 minutes now. We've been waiting, crowd just getting a little bit restless, not the player, just a delay in game, just taking some of the atmosphere, some of the sting out. Well, if you're just joining us, delay in the game right now, a head injury to Shishane, full force of the ball struck the young Brighton midfielder in the face, and he's been down receiving treatment for 9 or 10 minutes now. The medical team down there obviously going to take no chances, and Shannon Reith has had multiple team talks with his side. I guess they're almost NFL style, going to plan a set piece move or one last throw of the dice. They're going to get a good 10 minutes or so, I say, once we are back up and running. Players just having to keep warm and having to keep switched on, because once this game gets back underway, we'll have to be full throttle and be right on it, and maybe Brighton will look to capitalise on a mistake, because at the moment it's Horsham that are going through to the final at the Amex to take on Littlehampton Town. It's been a real passive performance from Brighton, in truth, from start to finish. Slightly better territorially in the second half, but the impetus of attacking players not really been there. Horsham struck the woodwork twice in the first half. Have made their moment in the second half count when Lee Harding nicks the ball off Aiden West, I should say. Rodriguez picked up the loose ball in the middle, drove at the back line, released Ogunwamide, and then found Rodriguez in the box to slot home beyond Stephen Hall in the Brighton Hove Albion goal. That's the goal that separates the two sides. That's the goal that, as it stands, would send Horsham through to the final. Still we await to see any sign of movement. They're just taking their time. A more lengthy delay. Looks like they're now strapping Shishane to the stretcher taking real time and care to do so. Meanwhile, you can see the Brighton players just keeping warm. Horsham players trying to do the same. It's a long stoppage. So by the time we get back underway, we'll be probably close to 20 minutes. It really is a sight that nobody wants to see any day. But it is the sight of Shishane being taken off on a stretcher. Warm round of applause from 610 in attendance. Let's just hope that Shishane is okay. There's no lasting damage or serious injury to him. So Callum Mackley comes on. And our thoughts certainly go out to Sammy Shishane and hope that he does well. It's just going to be 18 additional minutes, of which we are 6 minutes into that. We'll see. So we are back underway after that lengthy, almost 20-minute stoppage. So it's still Brighton Hove Albion 0, Horsham 1 as Dixon looks to nip in. Penman gets there, but Horsham looks to come again. Rodriguez strikes some distance, blocked on the edge of the area from Penman. And that's nice from West as he looks to bring the ball in field. Brighton in search of an equaliser as Knight opens up his body. Rise the challenge of Barker. Knight clips it out to this near side. Gets it wrong. The referee's going to call it back for a free kick for the challenge on Knight. Could this be the opportunity Brighton Hove Albion needs? Knight takes it short, gets the return. Mills wants it, but Knight carries on his own. It's just been marshalled well by Miles Meekums. Brighton could have got the ball into the box. Instead, they've led it back to the goalkeeper. Here's Tasker. Got Mohamed closest to him. Penman wants it. Allowed to carry the ball over halfway. Still seems to be no real urgency. It's Penman exchanges passes with Wusu. And there's a touch for the substitute McLean. Blocked and cheers. Wasu, that's a good one there, I should say, was across to block that forward pass. Hull for Brighton. And a loose pass, and that's the ring rust that comes with that lengthy stoppage. It's the holders Horsham. Lead 16 times, winners Brighton Hove Albion by a goal to nil. And that's Rodriguez trying to work some magic. Miles Meekums does well to drop the shoulder and release Lee Harding. Harding trying to protect the ball. Just lost the pass under real pressure and then slides in. Brighton want the throw in and they've got it. The assistant was hesitant. The referee looked at him and eventually gave it Brighton's way. Back it goes to Penman. It's Mackley. Now Tasker forces it up the line. Good defending from Sparks, who wants a free kick. Gets one. Horsham can find a few more seconds down. As Carey will play this one long. Straight out of play. Mackley. Now Penman. Mills just forced to check back. Tasker steps inside. Now he crosses halfway. Rodriguez tries to close him down, but Tasker keeps going. Here's Tasker up towards the edge of the area. Still going. Brighton appeal for a penalty. The referee looks and thinks about it. Ball still in. Costa ace of goal. That's a really good interception and then cleared away. That could have been the moment. Oriola was weaving his magic. Jack Strange was the man at the right place at the right time for Horsham. Brighton putting pressure on. A strong challenge comes in. Oriola goes down, rolls a few times, he gets the free kick. It's Horsham fans getting nervous around me.
In the interest of public and player safety and preserving the quality of the pitch, would all spectators please refrain from entering the field of play at the end of the game and remain behind the barriers at all times. Thank you.
Free kick to Brighton Hove Albion. Minutes remaining as everyone is within the final. Horsham's third. It's high delivery towards the back post. It's too high. It's kept in by NT, but it just allows Horsham to gear up the line, and Miles Meekums will give Tasker chase to the keeper. Wasn't looking. And he's back on there. Just for a moment, that ball looked like it was going to go straight into the back of the net. Here's NT. NT over halfway. He's got West ahead of him. Slides the ball through for West. Can West dig out across? No, he can't, because the ball goes out of play. And time is certainly running out. There's Carey. Will take his time. Still, we play on. Harding flicks it on. Dixon nods it on. Miles Meekums looks to get there ahead of Penman. Here is Miles Meekums. Can he seal it for Horsham? Squares it to Dixon. Ogunwamide, I should say. And he just took a touch too many. Horsham had the chance there to seal the deal. And T to West. Loose from him. Foot in from Barker. And here goes Miles Meekums again. Dixon alongside him. Miles Meekums into the area. Miles Meekums into the near post. And it flashes past. That would have clinched it. 2 opportunities for Horsham to get that clinching goal. And still they await for the referee. As there were 2 balls on the pitch for a moment. Cheers from the Horsham fans behind that goal. Frustration for Brighton. Tarusu carries it forwards. The referee just has a quick glance at his watch and now a second more sustained look. As Penman's allowed to carry it forward. Launches one long. Knight beaten to it in the air. Here's Oriola. Appeals for handball, not given. Oriola's still going. Looks to go on the outside of Ogunwamide, and there's the final whistle. And Horsham are going to the final again. They've beaten Brighton Hove Albion by a goal to 0. And Rodriguez is the hero as Horsham look to become back-to-back champions, the holders through to the final. First half where Brighton had possession of the ball but couldn't muster a chance on goal. Horsham twice hit the woodwork. First through Rodriguez in the first 5 minutes, then later through their talismanic midfielder, James Hammonds. In the second half, Brighton controlled the possession again, but failed to create a real opportunity to threaten Lewis Carey in the Horsham goal. And then came the vital moment. Lucas Rodriguez picked up the ball after Harding got a foot in. He drove at the defence, released Ogunwamide, who cut it back to Lucas Rodriguez, who made no mistake to slot it home to give Horsham the lead that they never relinquished. Miles Meekums could have clinched it a seconds deep into added time. There's the injury to young Brighton Hove Albion midfielder Sami Shishane. We hope that he's okay. We send big well wishes to him. But the end of a pulsating semi-final here at Culver Road. It's Horsham that are going to the final to take on Littlehampton Town in the Amex. What a final that will be. We'll see you there at the Amex Stadium. But tonight, it's about Horsham. Tonight, it's about the Hornets, and it's finished here. Brighton Hove Albion 0, Horsham 1.